Hi everyone, this is Cosmic Wholeness and our second session exploring the pattern of sphere. Before we get started, I invite you to grab a blanket, a sheet, a large towel or something. You can pause the video and come back when you got that. So, with your sheet, with your towel, wrap yourself into it. I will not completely cover myself up for now, so that you can keep hearing the sound until everything is explained, but you may absolutely completely cave yourself in if that feels good to you. So then, held, comforted by this layer around you, let's take a couple breaths together just to arriving in yourself, with yourself, and with this comfortable, hopefully comfortable, protective, cuddly layer around you. If you like, you can even round up your posture. This is a session that you can do on a comfortable couch. That is a session that you can do on the floor, on a carpet, or even in the bed. So let's round ourselves as good as we can. Could be laying down on the side too. Round it into a sphere with the cozy layer surrounding us. And let's flow through our opening just from that position, from that shape, and just see what changes, how it feels differently than usually. Here I am, as I am. Just noticing your presence with yourself, with what is held in the sphere. And here I am, embracing myself. Maybe it is already a feeling of embrace that's happening in the shape with your cover. Here I am, entering receiving mode. Usually we put our hands on the back of our heads and necks, shifting our energy into awareness into our backside. Maybe the cover can do that job for us today. Just feeling into our backside, receiving side. Giving ourselves the permission for the session just to be, not to have to do and figure out. And here I am in my little ball. And how do I want to be with this time? What's my intention? What do I bring in? How do I want to come out of it? And here I am in my little sheet ball, in my sphere, and here You are here, we are, each in our spheres. For a moment, just acknowledging each of us in our own spheres. But maybe we can also envision us all sharing the sphere of this session together. A larger sphere that contains all of our spheres. Sending some love, smile energy into our shared sphere. Noticing how the walls of the sphere maybe reverberate, amplify, send back some of that energy. So here we are. I hope you build a comfortable sphere around you. We're going to stay in it for a while and get really comfortable. The first idea that we're exploring today is the idea of the womb. So let us turn into the round embryo shape, and the layer that you put around you will be our womb. I'll stay seated for the moment, but again, please choose any position and orientation that works for you for this exploration. So, as the baby in the womb, we are curled up in this round shape, and we are surrounded by all sides, protected. It's a warm, nourishing environment, one that allows for deep rest, if rest is needed. So let's be the rest of the sleeping embryo, of the sleeping, developing baby. Yet there's also a time of activity. And that activity might involve exploring the boundary that surrounds me. So wherever you are, whatever you're wrapped in, find some gentle pushing against, some kicking into what surrounds, what contains. Maybe if you hold on to your blanket, you can do it with your arms, you can use your legs for that. Push your back against your seat or your mattress. Just taking some moment to exploring the edges of our sphere, the stretchiness, the resistance. And with that, notice how we are exploring ourselves. How I get to feel my own boundary against the boundary of the surrounding wall. For your sake, I will stay a little bit more resting so we don't get all those creaks, but please continue with your exploration. And notice too how the exploration of your sphere, stretching into it, how it creates tone, how your musculature gets activated. Your feeling of sense, nervous system. This is such a crucial and beautiful part of our development. A spherical playground of self-discovery. And development. Maybe notice too, if, for example, you're pushing with your foot and you're noticing your musculature, the tone in your body responding. Where all does that tone carry through? Like, can I feel the push of the foot all the way up in the chest, shoulders, neck? How does the rest of my body respond to it? I want to stay in my container. Similar idea, slightly different. So instead of being the human baby, maybe we are a baby chick. And we are close to being ready to come out of the shell, but so far it's still surrounding us. It's not quite spherical. Nature knows quite well why the egg shape is more beneficial, but it still has the same idea of a surrounding shell on all sides. And as the baby chick, I will have to push, peck my way out of that shell. Similar idea also, the butterfly in the cocoon shortly before its birth or release into the world. There's a pushing, there's a stretching, there's an activating and toning involved. And this is a crucial, important process. If it were interrupted, or if the container would open too early, the development, the toning, the strengthening, the activating of my systems would not be complete. Take just another minute or so playing with the activation within the protective boundary, feeling the readiness of the emergence, but not going there yet. We're still forming, still experiencing ourselves. And then also finding those moments of rest again, of just being curled up, held, strengthening, experiencing, resting. in the sphere. If you like, you can come out of your self-created sphere here and just see how this play is also possible without this layer outside of me, and just pushing into the earth, pushing into the atmosphere. There's a similar kind of toning of myself possible in that. How does that feel? What's the gift of that? The tone of the pushing against the floor, traveling through my body, activating all of me. Well, what a beautiful good morning exercise. Curious what your experience is. So let's shift from this very tangible, physical sphere surrounding us to a more energetic sphere. And let's do that with a practice that I'm familiar with from Qigong, particularly the branch of Qigong, but I know that it's part of many of the energy traditions. And so we will, to start with, maybe just rub your hands together, creating some warmth, activating. And then hold your hands up in front of you as if you're holding a sphere. And you may already notice like a slight tingling or warmth, a perception of energy. Oftentimes when we start that, it's easier to feel that energy when the hands are a little bit closer together. And then if you pull them apart, bring them back together, condensing, expanding. Imagine a sphere of energy between your hands and tune into the sensation of it. What do you notice? Allowing that energy sphere to grow, condense, grow. And once you got a pretty good sense of the energy sphere, maybe allow it to expand beyond the distance between your two hands. So let's say when we're close together in the middle, it's in between the hands. But as we're going outside, it starts expanding further than the hands. So maybe at the outermost point, it actually encompasses our entire body. Bringing it back together in between the hands and expanding it till it encompasses our body. Let's do that a few times. And if that comes easy, see what happens if maybe from in between the hands We're expanding the energy ball around our body, and then it fills the entire room we're in. Maybe expands beyond the house into the neighborhood. Then we bring it back into the room, around our body, between our hands. Hands, body, room, neighborhood, room, body, hands, inside the hands, around the body, around the house, out in the neighborhood, maybe expanding to contain the entire earth, atmosphere of the earth, bringing it back into our neighborhood, the house, the room, around our bodies, between our hands, then extending again, body, room, house, neighborhood, earth, earth, neighborhood, house, room, around my body, between my hands, hands, body, room, house, neighborhood, earth, earth, neighborhood, house, room, around me, hands, between the hands, surrounding my body, surrounding the room, the house, the neighborhood, the planet, and extending out into the wider universe, making this energy ball as big as we can imagine it, and then bringing it back together from the universe to our earth, to our neighborhood, our house, room, body, in between the hands. Hands, body, room, house, neighborhood, earth, galaxies, universe, our earth, our neighborhood, house, room, body, hands. So let's take some time just to play with that. I'm silent for a while, letting you go through your own progression, expanding and condensing the energy of your sphere here, wherever you want or need it today. And if you like the expansion all the way into the universe, you can keep doing that. If you want to keep it a little bit more local today, that's good too. As you continue expanding and condensing, I'll bring in one more idea that we can play with. And that's the idea of connecting that energy sphere with our body or part of our body. Let's say I can start the sphere from my heart, for example, if I want to play with an opening of the heart energy. So the sphere is around the heart and then expands around the body, room, neighborhood, earth, universe, earth, neighborhood, house, room, myself, and the heart. Alternatively, you can also choose another part of your body, maybe something that just needs a little bit more energy, attention, healing. Can be really any part of you that we're expanding and condensing in that way. Feeling a little bit of nervous system agitation. Locating it today like in my upper neck and ear area. So maybe that will be the part that I want to hold energetically between my hands and then expand out. What of you do you want to play with today? And without needing to name a precise answer, what does that do? How does that feel? How does that affect me? One more time, out and in. Between my hands, surrounding my body, in the room, outside of the house, the neighborhood, containing the earth, in the universe, in the ocean of energy, bringing it back in, planet, neighborhood, house, room, myself, in my body, between my hands. Now all together, let's expand that energy ball until it just beautifully surrounds our physical body. Imagining it as an energy sphere that is surrounding us. Noticing what that imagination does for us. I kind of feel like I have some more need for movement, and I have a good idea for that. We will do something that I learned as Kugelputzen in German, the polishing of the sphere. So if we're imagining that we're having this beautiful sphere, energy sphere surrounding us, we can imagine that we have like some microfiber cloths on the inside of our hands, and we will start cleaning our energy sphere. And I invite you to get up for that if that is accessible for you. We really want to get everywhere. Get every corner of that sphere, smoothing it, making it shine. And we'll stay seated, so I'm still visible here. But in the end, you don't need to see me because you're busy with your sphere, polishing it. I learned this as a technique for stage preparation before going out on the stage and performing. What other usage cases can you think of? When do I want to prepare my sphere, and how do I do that? Yet again, a question that we don't need a direct answer for. Maybe we'll just feel something. So once you feel that all your spheres smoothed and polished, let's enjoy that for a moment. And then let's bring in some vibration. We're combining the pattern of sphere basically with the pattern of vibration. You may remember that we were humming, toning into ourselves. Now, if you enjoy singing in the shower and noticing how the sound gets bounced back by the shower walls, you would really enjoy singing in a sphere just because the sound gets reverberated, bounced around, amplified. Sadly, we can't just put on a sphere around ourselves to make that actually happen, but let's do that in our imagination. So let's spend a few minutes humming into our physical bodies, humming into areas that need some more energy, that need some healing. But let's do that with the awareness of our brightly polished energy sphere around us, and that energy sphere amplifying the vibration. The options that we explored were humming into what needs the energy, the internal energy massage, or humming from that place, allowing it to express what needs to be expressed. And all of that is happening in the safe and powerful container of our sphere. this feels good, just keep going. If you want a little bit more comparison experimentation, see if you can notice a difference envisioning our energy sphere while humming, or letting go of that. So instead of the bouncing back and amplifying, sound would just keep traveling out without valuing one better than the other. How are they different? Then another idea to play with would be like this various sizes of our energy sphere, energy ball again. What if I'm humming into the small contained space? What if I'm humming, vibrating into the space that contains the neighborhood or the world, people I love? Our circle. Maybe for a moment just sitting and allowing that to resonate, reverberate with us. There's one last pairing that I want us to try on today. And that basically, I would say, brings the pattern of sphere and some of our explorations in line and trajectory together. So perceive your energy sphere as perfectly surrounding you in all directions. And then maybe think of something in the day ahead, in the weeks and months ahead, maybe something that is pulling you, that worries you. Find that one thing that has a strong pull into the future for you. What is that going to be? What are they going to say? And perceive if anything changed with the energy sphere surrounding you. Does it still perfectly surround you? Has its quality changed? I won't tell you what exactly I'm experiencing, but there is a difference. Now, what can I do to bring my energy field back to being around me? No, I gave it away, I guess. But if it was just a shift in the quality for you, same question. What can I do to restore the balance of the sphere that I perceived before? Is it just a consciously restoring it? Is it a polishing? Is it a couple deep breaths? Or is it a here I am, as I am, as our mantra, magic words? Here I am. I feel drawn to accompany that with the gestures that we usually do. Here I am, as I am. So once you found your sphere surrounding you again, let's be pulled by something from the past. A memory that you have that maybe still pains you, maybe something that is unresolved. Find that memory. Or it might also be something that was a beautiful memory that you still hang on to. Good old times. Go into that memory and allow yourself to perceive what happens to your energy sphere. What feels different? Do I like that change? And what do I want to do in order to bring the sphere back to me, if it has moved? Here I am, as I am. Let's do a last one. Let's just go into the feeling of things moving too fast. You feel that life is just moving at a pace that is hard to keep up with, and maybe feeling some resistance to that. I don't wanna go there. See if you can find a scenario like that for yourself. And notice what's happening to your energy sphere. And bringing it back. And is the bringing back the same, or is it different for the scenario? But once you're there, I invite you to re-grab your towel, your blanket, your cover. And let's just spend a couple collective minutes in our cozy spheres again. And we'll cuddle up here on the couch too. Just returning to the feeling of being held, protected, shielded, and or at the same time also in development and training and exploration. What is being born in me that might find expression someday? What knowing or strength is gathering in my sphere? Finding those moments of rest in the sphere, just being held, held within myself, held by the womb, the shell, the cocoon, the energy, the light. What else? We haven't done that very consistently, but today, again, from our rounded shape, from our sphere, let's go through a little closing. Just receive those words, and you can repeat them, perceiving what they bring, particularly in this shape, in this container. Here I am, as I am. In the world, as it is. Supported by the earth, of the earth. And in my sphere, traveling in time, space, and possibility. Awake and gathering. For what? When you're ready, come on out. Thank you, everyone. We'll have one more session left on the pattern of sphere. I'm excited to continue exploring with you. Thanks for sharing this time and experience with me today. Sending you much love.